Hello guys, Orlando here. So we're back today. So one of the things I'm doing today, being out of moving away from the city, one of the realities that I have to deal with is that it's hard to get people to come out and do repairs for you. It's not impossible, but you have to wait. You're in the time frame. So I noticed that it's to our benefits to learn how to do some things ourselves, those that we can and we feel comfortable with. So what I'm dealing with today, here in the new house, we got a rotten egg smell in the water. So I did some researching and stuff, and then I found out that water heaters, they got these things called Anode rods, which are supposed to help prevent the rust inside the water heaters. The way it happens, I guess, it's just water and metal, and then it gets rust, right? And so this rod, what it does is it sacrifices itself to help prevent that rust process inside the tank. So what I kind of did to kind of eliminate that or narrow it down to that was my problem. I took my water tank, I drained it, and then I filled it up again, and then we ran a lot of water to see if that would fix the problem. So it did work. I mean, the smell went away for probably, I would say, a good month, and then it came back. So kind of process of elimination kind of makes me think that the problem is going to be with my water tank instead of just my water source. Okay, so just to get started, I have an electric water heater in this home. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to disconnect both the water supply and the power supply. For my heater, it's right here. Water and go over to the fuse box. Then we're going to turn off the water heater. Okay, now that I disconnected the water, or turn off the water and turn off the power, what I want to do now is I'm going to relieve the pressure in the water heater before I start working on it. I don't want the water to be shooting out when I take that rod out. So I attach a hose to the drain, and then that's going now to my sump pump. I'm just gonna hook that up so I can release some of the pressure off of it. So it's coming out over there. I can hear the pressure was just going. Now it's kind of just letting the pressure off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to open up some of the hot water in faucets in the bathrooms and stuff, and then try to drain some of the more of that water in here so we can work. Okay, guys, so I'm back. So what I did is I opened up the hot water faucets up there, and I left them open so there's the hot water has a way to pull air and then kind of work its way out of here and drain that tank. You don't have to drain the whole tank. I'm doing it just for my own preference. I just kind of want to switch out the water. If it's in there already and it's already smelly, I kind of want to start from with good water right away. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to find the hole for the Anode rod. So if you can see, there's a couple of little plastic covers up here. I already was like, it's usually most of the time the bigger one. This one right here. So I'm gonna pop that up. There should be some insulation in there, or maybe there's none. We'll clean that out and then take out the other rod. Okay, so I'm just using a screwdriver to pop this up. So here, get all this junk off of it. Get rid of this cobwebs right here. It's a very short basement, so one thing I am worried about, I don't know how long this rod's gonna be, and if I'm gonna have enough room to take it up and out of here. I'm kind of hoping it's one of the short ones, and if not, then I might have to break it up in pieces and then take it out of here. All right. Yeah, so this one does have a little bit of insulation, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my knife and clear that out of there. Oh yeah, so like one thing that I learned when I was trying to find out about these anode rods was that I read that they're actually technically really all of them are supposed to be changed out on all heaters. I forget if it was like 5 years or 10 years. But either way, that was, you know, a piece of information that I myself, I didn't know. You know, I never dealt with this anode rods before, and most certainly my last home, I never really changed it. I did try to drain my other water heater more regularly to kind of just if there was any rust or anything in the bottom to kind of get rid of that. But I never knew about these anode rods and that they needed to be changed every 5 to 10 years. You know, and then most of us will probably never pay attention to that or even be a problem with us unless we have the smell of come and then become a problem, and then that's when we feel that there is some maintenance that we need to do, and you can do it yourself. I mean, it's not that hard. So let me show you guys. So this is what it looks like in here. I don't know, hopefully it's a good angle. But there's the top of the rod. So I'm going to take a socket. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to take my vacuum. I'm going to clear this out. That way, when I take out the rod, I don't want any of that junk to go in the tank. We're already dealing with this tank. Who knows? It's probably older than a couple of years older here, and we don't want to be adding more dirt to it than we have to. So let me get the vacuum real quick, clean this up, and then we can work and try to get that rod out of there. Okay, so I got that vacuum out pretty good. Maybe you can see that. Got all that junk out of there. Now I did read that to take these out, it's a 1 1/16 socket. So yeah, that one fits in there pretty good. Now, I don't know how hard this one is going to be to take out. I'm assuming just by looking at this and how corroded it is, I'm going to take a guess that this is probably going to be stuck in there pretty good. You know, with the corrosion, it's probably just kind of sticking in there. So I'm going to take my wrench here, see if I can loosen these up a little bit. Yep, that's pretty tight. Okay, so you know what you guys can do for leverage, you know, if you have a pipe or something, you can hook it up to this, get some leverage in there and like turn it. Or what I've done in the past, you know, if you don't have a pipe wrench or anything, like sometimes let me get a bigger one here. Well, I don't have one here, but if you have a big enough wrench, you might be able to hook it in here and then turn it that way. You know, it gives you a little bit of extra leverage. What I do have is, you know, when my dad left me all his tools, he left me this hammer, which I love. This hammer is like awesome for building, destroying, and it's also a good tool for leverage. So it's hollow in the middle. I put it here, and then that's gonna kind of help me do some leverage here. Hopefully we can knock this out. Okay guys, so that was in there pretty good. I ended up having to go get my impact drill to get that thing a little loose. So just know going into it that if you're gonna try it, it's gonna be pretty tight. Like I said, this was very, very, very corroded inside this tank. I'll show you guys over here. So I came off and it looks like, yeah, that thing is pretty nasty. So all right, I'm gonna try to come here, bend it, get this thing out of here. Oh yeah, that smells kind of nasty too. So I wonder if that was my problem with the smell for this rotten egg, smelly water. You know, like I was thinking, it's kind of long, so see if we can bend it and then take it out of there. I don't want to break it and then it falls inside. Let me get I'm gonna get some pliers so I can hold it as we do this, so we don't lose it inside the tank. Yeah, so mine was pretty long, and hopefully you guys are not constricted with space to get yours out. But you can tell, I ended up breaking this one in 4 little pieces to get it out. There was one thing that I was worried going into. I didn't know if I was going to be able to find something that I can fit down here, knowing how long these rods can be. So I ended up going with this one right here, which is it's actually an electric one. You end up plugging it in, and it does the same work. But the benefit of it is that it's a lot shorter. And I think, like, you know, when it's electric like that, what it does is it works in bringing all the bringing all that stuff up to it, you know, instead of working all the way down. So I read the reviews; they were pretty good. You know, so this one worked pretty good. So we'll see. Hopefully, this thing can help us here. But man, the inside of this thing must be pretty dirty and full of stuff. You know, so it kind of makes it wonder if we should change those things more often or drain the tanks. You know, to get that junk out of there. Anyway, let me vacuum this up because I kind of made a mess taking this out. I'm gonna vacuum this up again, and then I'm gonna put the new one in. Okay, so I'm gonna take the new one here, and I'm gonna put some Teflon tape on it, and the grooves here, so we don't have any leaks. So the way that my dad always taught me was like holding your level, depending on your things, unless you got those weird things where you screw one way or go the other. But anyway, it's like the way that I was taught is that you go with the groove, you know, like not instead of like going with the groove, you go like against it. So you kind of go the opposite side. Kind of think about it like if you were screwing in there, it should make it tighter, you know, like if you go the other way, it just kind of loosens it up. As you go this way, when you screw it in, it makes the seal a little tighter with the Teflon. I like to be generous with the Teflon tape. Last thing I want is a leak, or worse, I have to come back and redo it again, and just a pain, right? So hopefully that should be enough Teflon here. All right, so I'm gonna stick it in there. Now, from what I was reading, this doesn't have to be like super tight. You know, it just needs to be hand tight. So they want to make sure it's in far enough. I guess it's something that we could probably keep an eye on it. I don't want to tighten it too much, because when I was reading the things, it says that you just want to be straight tight. Sometimes it seems like we might push too hard and then break something, and that's the last thing we want. What I'll do is just when I fill it up, I'll kind of keep an eye on it, see if it's leaking. You know, once we get the pressure in there, and if it is leaking, then I can come here easily and then just tighten it up a little bit more. Yeah, so let me get a screwdriver, and then we're gonna plug this in. Oh yeah, like I said, so there's different types of anode boards that you can use. Like I said, I went with the short one just because I am limited in space here, and I didn't know how to put it in. There was another type that is a flexible one. The only thing that I was kind of worried with that is that, you know, since these things do corrode, I didn't want those sections to break off and fall inside the tank, and then it'll be stuck in there. But anyways, the reviews on this one was pretty good, and then you know, it did cost me a little bit more than the other ones, but it seems like it might be a good deal. Maybe it'll probably last us the rest of the life of this tank. I'll leave a link to this bar in the comments, and then you know, if you guys want to go with this, you can go with it. If you can go with a different one, all right. So, like I said, the one that I did, you kind of want to make sure if you're gonna go with this one that you have an electrical outlet close by. Just because this one you have to plug it in, you know. I just happen to have a plug right here, right next to it, because I got the water softening system, you know, for the well, and I can tap into that. I think this one is a 110, so it's not requiring too much energy, but we can plug it in there, and then it will work like that. So it does got two knobs here, so it looks like, if you can see the top one, I'm just gonna go right on top of the new bar that I put in there, and then this little round one goes to the side, to one of the screws on the side of the tank. All right, so depending on what you guys go with, you may not have to do this. You know, obviously the one that I took out of there, you don't have to plug it in, and that's fine. You know, I just, like I said, I read the reviews and I kind of really like the way this one was sounding. So that's why I decided to go with this one. So I'm gonna plug it in there. I'm gonna wait to plug it in here in a minute. Okay, yeah, so now I'm gonna unscrew this right here. Like I said, mine is an electrical water heater. What I was reading, that, you know, the concept of the anode bar is the same for both the electric and the gas water heaters. So, you know, you can do your homework, do your research, find out which anode bar you want to go with. You can see this was It's pretty easy and straightforward to do. I mean, I don't think it's gonna hurt anything if you change it anyways. If you think it needs to be changed, it's probably pretty old, a pretty old water heater, and you think that it needs to be changed, you probably could do it. I don't think it'll hurt it, but definitely for me, I hope this is gonna help take care of the smell. So now that I'm all hooked up here, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go upstairs, turn off those water faucets, and then I'm gonna turn everything on, let this fill up, and then I'll plug it in. Okay, and then yeah, we'll see if this takes care of the problem, and then we can get rid of that rotten smell in the water. Especially when you take a shower, it's all steamy and it's all coming up in your face, and yeah, it's disgusting. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then if you got any comments, let me know. I'll try to answer the questions I had. Like I said, the one thing I would say, just be careful if you want to get yourself into this. Once you get this loose, the old one, I think it's pretty easy. After that, it's just taking one out, putting the other one in. But taking it out was a little tough. I'm not gonna lie. It was tough to break that corrosion in there. And then if you guys notice, I ended up having to get my my impact gun to get this one off, just because, well, one, I don't have the room to work here, and two, it was pretty tight. So, if you're going to tackle this, then just make sure you got the tools, or you're confident then that you have a crowbar or something that's got long enough, that's going to give you enough leverage to get that get the old one out of there. But yeah, putting the other one in is pretty straightforward and easy. All right, guys, so we'll do a couple more of these around the farm. If something breaks down, we'll fix it, put it on the video, and then hopefully it helps you where you're at. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button so you can notify whenever I make another video. Catch you next time.